You know, it's December, but it's actually really warm out right now.
Well, I'm kind of cold. At
Yeah,
least,
I mean, I'm layered up a little bit.
I made tea. I asked you if you want any, but you didn't.
Nah, I made coffee.
Um, can you pass me the popcorn?
Yeah, sure, bro.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, nice.
You want some?
Nah, I'm good. I don't know.
Mm.
Popcorn, you gotta be in the mood for it, you know.
Well, I got a story for you.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
go
if I
ahead.
ever told you this one, but um, it's about how I discovered Berserk.
Hmm.
So I was on the internet one time, and I heard about this phone app called Fling. It's
Hmm.
basically like Snapchat, but instead of sending the Snapchat to your friends, you send it to like up to 50 random people around the world who own the app, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to see like what kind of pictures I would get, and have fun. I got a couple nudes. I met a really cute girl, um, and we were talking, just for fun. And one day, I received a picture of the picture was taken like outside the window, and it was the picture of the sun, and the text said, "Praise the sun." And I was like, "Oh my god, this guy plays Dark Souls. It's insane." Um, and you already this is crazy coincidence, right? How many people
Yeah.
own this app? And out of all the people, he sent that picture to 50 people around the world. And I just happened to be one of the guys who played Dark Souls, who beat it, understand the reference, and I can appreciate it. So I hit him up and I say, "Hey, that's a Dark Souls reference. You like that game?" And we started talking, and he asks me, "You ever heard about Berserk?" I was like, "Yeah." I mean, I wasn't into anime back then. Um, I knew a couple of shows, but wasn't too into it. So
Because you were still halfway normie trash.
yeah. Um, and you ever heard about Berserk? I was like, "Yeah, I heard somewhere, but I have no idea what that is." So he tells me Miyazaki was uh, inspired by Berserk. He has a lot of influence, and there are a lot of references in Dark Souls. Um, and he told me to watch the show. Uh, he told me pretty much what everyone says, right? Um, the manga is
Yeah.
the best, the show is good, the movies are kind of garbo, but still okay. So I watched the show, and Berserk fucking changed my life. That's a crazy coincidence. How I met a guy on Fling who sent me a
Yeah, of
Praise
all
the Sun
places.
picture and introduced me to like one of my favorite things ever, Berserk. Anyway, that's a crazy story.
Yeah, a little bit. Huh. I don't know. Berserk is I I I, I love Berserk. I really do. But it's one of those things that legitimately haunts my soul. Almost on a daily basis. Like I live in constant fear that Miura will die before finishing the story.
Well,
I think the series just got off another little break. Like I think he released like 3 chapters and then was like, "Okay, that's enough for now." It took like a 3-month break. I was like, what
Yeah,
the
that's
fuck,
what he
dude?
does. Um,
Yeah, I know.
but you know, as sad as that would be,
At least we're off the boat.
I think Berserk will never get better than the Golden Age arc.
I actually disagree. I actually think Fantasia arc is better, but it's close. I mean, I think like because the Golden Age arc is like the beginning of everything important in Berserk, but like Fantasia just takes that and ramps it up to like so many new levels. I don't think you ever finished Fantasia, right?
Um,
Am
I
I thinking
mix
of
them
right?
up. Is that
Hold on, hold on.
which arc is
Let
that?
me look. Make sure I'm. Make sure I'm getting the names
I
right.
think
Looking
that's
it
the
up really
one where
quick.
he gets the um, armor.
I believe so. That's the one I'm thinking of.
I got up until the boat, and I stopped watching.
Okay.
I stopped
There's
reading.
there's a Black Swordsman, which is like the first book, and the first 3 books, I believe. Three, and like 2.5.
Um, wait,
Volumes.
wait,
I
wait,
mean
wait.
by books.
You got Wi-Fi here?
No, I use like the cellular data.
Okay.
No, but I mean, if I wanted to use Wi-Fi, I brought this little like thing that turns like LTE data into like Wi-Fi signal. It's only like 10 gigs, but I was like, oh, that's all we need.
Well, I would appreciate if you didn't use the phone. We're out here. I mean, turn off your device. Come on, dude.
I had to look up the name. Okay, fine. So you got Black Swordsman, you got Golden Age, then there's Conviction. Fantasia arc is from, let me see. What the fuck? Give me the fucking. It starts I think. Fuck me. Hold on. Yeah, it's when he gets the armor. It's basically the whole armor thing,
Mhm.
and you get this. What I love so much about the Fantasia arc is that you you finally get to see like the conclusion to a lot of Griffith, or the continuation at least of a lot of Griffith's like storyline that he had started in at the right at the end of the Golden Age arc. How he like wants to build his kingdom and stuff, and you get to see like the culmination of his kingdom and how massive his ideology, how massive his like dreams actually like formate into reality, or how effectively they do rather.
Well,
Um,
Fantasia arc is my second favorite, but I don't think it's nowhere close enough. I don't think it's nowhere close as good as the Golden Age arc. But anyway, I told you this
Yeah,
story.
whatever.
You have, we're out there alone, have nothing to do, so share a story, dude.
sure. I have an interesting story for you. I've hinted at this a lot over the past couple months. I've been doing this YouTube thing more seriously, but I want to tell the story about how I learned to hate Sony.
Hmm.
Or I grew to hate Sony because prior to a certain event, I was a huge Sony fanboy.
I think we all been there at some point in our lives.
Sure. I mean, I was like, I wasn't like a trashy fanboy. I was just very much like attached to what they had, and I had no reason to let go. I knew I was very into PC gaming. I knew PCs were better, but I like the convenience of a PS4.
Yeah.
And I'd been with Sony, dude. Like, I mean, I talk about how I love Spyro and Castlevania, like all these games, like on the PS1. I literally have been playing Sony games since I was like 3 years old. I was big in PS2. The PS3 was my very first console that I actually owned. Everything else is my dad's prior to that. But but the PS3 was like mine. So yeah, I had a lot of attachment to this company, and there were little things that like propped up and kind of bothered me about like what they were doing every now and then, specifically where like everything started to go digital, right? This is still a thing. You buy all your games digitally.
Mm-hmm.
And what really scared me about that is that if your account ever had an issue, or if Sony's servers, this is what specifically bothered me. If 30 years from now, Sony servers don't want to hold your favorite game from 2008 anymore,
Yeah.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, on PS3 and 360, they don't have to, and they can just remove it, and you can never play that game again. And that scared the shit out of me. And that's actually what happened with Scott Pilgrim versus the World. More specifically, the licensing went out, so Microsoft and Sony had to get rid of it. But that's just an example of what I mean. Like, this really does happen. The games really do die. The only way to play that game now is if you already had it downloaded, or if you rip the game and put it onto a jailbroken PS3, or if you play it on an emulator. It's crazy. But anyways, years go by. I mean, like I said, up until this year, this is a very recent thing. Up until this year, I'm huge into Sony. And I had gotten back into Rock Band. I've always loved Rock Band. Rock Band, like, taught me how to play drums. And eventually I moved away from playing, like, Rock Band with drums. I just played drums, you know. But, I had this new electric drum kit, that I got for myself, because
Sorry.
Nice. Nice one, dude.
Yeah.
I got this electric drum kit that I wanted to, like, use on Rock Band, because I was like, I knew that was a thing you could do, and I was like, oh, that'd be fucking awesome. And I start doing it on my jailbroken PS3, which I completely disabled the internet for, by the way, so I wouldn't get banned. That PS3, since it got jailbroken, had never been connected to the internet. That'll be important later in the story. So I've been playing, like, Rock Band 3, which I, you know, had, like, a bunch of custom songs on. It was a fucking great time. I played that for, like, weeks on end. Like 6 or 7 hours a day. I was having a fucking blast. And eventually I decided, okay, let me pick up Rock Band 4. All the equipment I had should work on that game just fine. And I'll be able to play online, which I used to really love doing. I used to meet, like, all kinds of people playing Rock Band on like,
Yeah.
the fucking harmonic servers and shit. It was a great time. Anyways, so I buy fucking Rock Band 4, and immediately I just start playing through the normal songs, like the disc songs. I didn't even buy any DLC yet, or like import anything. I was just playing through the songs just to see how good the songs were. And they were fine, but I'm really fucking good at Rock Band. I was FCing like song after song after song. FCing means full combo. You don't miss a note. You don't break a combo ever. You just get 100%, and you keep your, like, 4x streak the whole time. And I had done that for, like, 10 songs in a row. And I started, like, I was like, okay, that's fun. How about I start doing, like, leaderboard shit? And I went into this thing called, like, brutal mode, which is, like, really insanely hard. They, like, mask your notes. It's like playing on like invisible mode in, like, I don't know what it's called in O's, but a lot of rhythm games have this kind of thing where the notes will go invisible. You only see them for like a fraction of a second.
I know.
It was like that.
It's a hidden note.
Yeah, basically. And I was FCing songs on that and getting, like, top 5 like in the world scores on a lot of these songs.
Damn.
And this is within like the first, like, this is the first night I bought the game. This is within like the first 5 hours of me playing this game. And I finally, after some, I played up like this one song over and over again for a while. And I got the #1 spot on it because it was a new song that it was like a free song that had just like come out, and I like downloaded it, and I was like, oh, maybe I can get the #1 spot for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I was super satisfied. I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. And I was like, okay, that's enough Rock Band. I'm going to bed. I woke up the next morning because I didn't have work or anything. I was like, all right, time for more fucking Rock Band. And I turned my PS4 on, and I'm like, something's weird. It's not connecting to the internet. That's pretty odd. Um, and I try signing in, and it's like, you cannot sign in. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? And I go open up my computer, and I'm like looking around, and eventually I sign into like the PlayStation Store, and they say like, this account has been banned. And I'm like,
Whoa.
what the fuck?
What'd you do?
To this day, I honestly can't tell you.
Was it
I have spent way too long trying to figure it out.
was it
What I
because
think-
Sony thinks you're too good at the game?
I think it's because someone thought I was cheating,
Hmm.
or maybe something on the Harmonic servers and Rock Band 4 thought I was cheating, reported me to Sony. They looked over it. For some reason, thought that they were right. Whoever reported me, and permanently banned my account. I never got any reason. They were supposed to email me a reason. I never got that. They were supposed to like do all kinds of shit, but I called PR people or PR people. I called like customer service people. I did so much shit. I talked to like a lot of higher up people. It took me a long time to do that, but
And you didn't
I was
get
able
an
to get it.
answer.
I didn't get an answer. The best they were able to tell me was, "There's nothing we can do. We already deleted your account."
Oh shit.
Even if I were to sue Sony, which I would totally be in the right to do, but it would cost too much money for me to be worth it. Even if I were to sue Sony and it was determined that I was in the right, there was nothing they could do to recover my account. It was gone.
Shit.
This is an account I had for 8 years. I had, I think, 70 platinum trophies. A platinum trophy is just when you get every trophy in a game, by the way. I mean, I fucking loved this account. Like, I really, really was attached.
Hey,
I don't know
man,
if I've ever been this disheartened by, like,
don't feel bad.
something like
Feel
this.
bad. Have a beer. Okay? Here.
Thanks, man.
I don't know, it sounds pretty bad, but I don't know if it's as bad as losing your best Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
What?
Didn't I tell you how I lost all my Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No, I don't think you ever told me this.
So for
Is this the one with the stealing?
for some reason, you know, I always used to have a lot of decks because I thought I was Seto Kaiba, who has like a briefcase specifically for storing decks, and you know he has a bunch of decks, and I thought I was Seto Kaiba, you know. But for some reason, one time I wanted to show off and collected all my shiny cards, all my rarest cards, the strongest monsters, and put them in a deck. It was just because I wanted to show off. I had
Of course.
4 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and not the classic ones, the ones with the different art. They are more rare. I had fucking Dark Magicians, a bunch of stuff, and you know what?
Yeah.
What else I had? All Exodia pieces.
Yeah.
It was, you know, for my time and for my age, I had a super rare set of cards. And what's the place where you put the bike? What's the place where you put the bike called?
A bike rack?
Maybe. It's
Maybe.
it's like a room in an apartment where you can lock your bike, you know?
Huh.
Anyway,
You mean like a closet? I don't know.
anyway, so it's public. I mean public. People from that apartment can go in and take their bikes out, right?
I don't think I've ever had an apartment like that, but sure, I believe you.
So we were the only kids. Me and my cousin were the only kids in that apartment complex.
Yeah.
And we were hanging in that space a lot. No one no one said we can't because we were just a bunch of kids playing. No one did
Yeah.
anything, and I used to put a lot of things I didn't want to use in that, because I didn't want to go home and um, leave my cards. I already brought them out. I don't want to go home back again, so I just left them there, and someone stole all my cards. I lost all my cards,
Jeez.
best cards I collected over the years.
That's insane.
And I never found out who it was, but it was someone from that apartment complex. But the thing is, we were the only kids. I don't know who would take the cards.
Was it your friend?
No, because it was just me and my cousin.
Oh,
My cousin
cousin,
didn't.
sorry.
No, my cousin didn't take it. He was scared of me. I used to bully him a lot.
Maybe that was his way of getting back at you.
And we were hanging out every day. There's no way, not a possibility. That's all I will say. But I also have another Yu-Gi-Oh related story. It's not all bad. So after that, I somehow got a lot of good cards back again, and I had a really powerful dragon deck. Powerful for my kids for the kids in school.
Hmm.
I don't know if in US you have this, but after you finish school, if your parents are at work, there's like a program for kids to hang out and pretty much
Oh.
wait until your parents come, right?
Like a daycare center.
Yeah, like something like that. But there were
Yeah,
a
I
lot
mean,
of
I was
kids
I, w-
there.
I was in one of those.
And
hell.
it wasn't just the kids who had to wait for their parents. It was just a bunch of kids who also wanted to hang out after school, right? So I was one of those kids, and
So it was like a free program.
yeah, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's not as much of a thing in the States. That's usually like privatized.
no, it's not private here.
Yeah.
And I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with a lot of kids, and I was the best. I was the strongest Yu-Gi-Oh player in the school. I shit you not. It's not
I
a
can
joke.
relate.
And a group of friends, group of kids who were younger than me, and went to the different, had a different classroom dedicated to them. We were separated into older and younger, and the younger
Yeah.
ones were 2 years younger. So I beat all of the shitty 2 year younger kids, and they invited me into their classroom. So I had to ask my teacher if he allows me to go into their classroom so we can play Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And the only reason I went there is to see my crush. I was
Nice.
a sneaky bastard.
You've
and,
always been a manly mode.
and I was the only kid in the school who didn't get shy and openly admitted, yes, I'm in love with her. And everyone knew what I was doing, but I went there and beat the shit out of other kids in Yu-Gi-Oh! And my crush got to see it. It was fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I used to play. I can't exactly put like an exact date on this. I just don't remember anymore. But like, I used to play a shit ton of Yu-Gi-Oh. Mostly, I think when I was in late elementary school, maybe early middle school, maybe. Yeah, I used to also at a daycare center. I would bring my deck, and it was totally OP deck, not tournament legal.
Yeah,
at
we
all.
didn't know back then.
Yeah, exactly. You like you said, stack all the best cards, and crush your opponents because Yu-Gi-Oh is the most unbalanced game in the world. And I would just destroy everyone.
Especially
had this-
if you're young and you can just make up rules,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best part, dude. That's the fucking best. I think we had like a rule where we got sick. It was specifically like me and this best friend at the time. We got sick of the 7 cards in your hand rule. So we upped it to 8, and we had we took off the limit on the amount of cards you could have on your deck. Um, I think we later reinstated that, but we made it like 150 instead of 40. And we changed the rules where I think we took off, we didn't care about the life system. We just cared about who ran out of cards first.
Mm.
Because that's the way you can make the games as long as possible. And when you're sitting in a fucking daycare center for 4 hours, like after school every day, it's like, well, that's pretty. You want the games to last a while.
Yeah, let's just have a game that lasts for 4 hours. You know.
Yeah, it makes sense when you're in that situation. Yu-Gi-Oh would make a great prison game. um, but yeah, I had this like thing about me. I don't even know if it was true. I was just kind of saying it because no one else knew any better. And I had this thing that I was like the undefeated champ of Yu-Gi-Oh. I had never lost. At least not against any of the people who I was playing with at that daycare center. I had been to like other daycare centers like, in my life playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't think it wasn't like out of like gloatiness. It was, but it wasn't like I was lying. I legitimately didn't remember if I had ever lost in those other daycare centers. So I was like, I guess I'm undefeated, at least, you know.
Yeah.
And it was my friend who was like, dude, you're like the undefeated hero.
Whoa.
I'm like, yeah, you're right. Oh man, and then I stopped playing after a while, and I guess to this day, I had some close calls, some real close calls, and then I would cheat and pull out the Exodia.
Also, you have to realize we didn't know English.
Oh yeah.
We interpret the rules from how we saw the show, without actually understanding it. Another
What the fuck
Yu-Gi-Oh
are you
related
saying?
story. In going from that I didn't understand the text of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I traded a lot of good cards for like obviously weak cards, but I wanted them just because they looked cool. They're called Destiny Heroes. And
Yeah.
that day, I really wanted to know what they do, so I went to one of my friends who actually understood English. He was the smartest
Mm.
friend I had,
Mm-hmm.
and read them and said, I don't know how to explain that, but they're very good, okay? Trust me, keep collecting them. And that day, I went home, and I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! GX,
Oh no.
and that's the first time I saw Destiny Heroes get used. And the guy
Now-
who plays Destiny Heroes beat the main character,
Oh shit.
in which is so rare. He loses like 3 or 4 times in the entire span
Yeah.
of like 4 seasons.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how I absolutely fell in love with Destiny Heroes. And to this day, I have a main deck of Destiny Heroes that is super strong, and I can beat pretty much anyone. Fucking tournament winners, dude, they haven't heard of Destiny Heroes, okay?
Now, the Yu-Gi-Oh show, was it like was that in Japanese or English?
No,
or-
I watched it in German.
Oh, that
Mhm.
makes sense. Okay. I see.
In like 3rd, 4th grade, I knew better German than English.
Huh.
Just because of watching anime
Oh yeah, so many shows.
on German
That's
television.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have a similar experience, at least in the like the southwest area of the states. A lot of people have a similar experience with Spanish,
Hmm.
where a lot of the shows they would watch, or just a lot of the people they would be around would, they would only speak Spanish. So a lot of people, like not even people with like Hispanic descent, like they would just know Spanish, just based off of that. I've met a few people like that, especially in LA.
Interesting.
And this was I just remember this story now. But speaking of LA, I I guess I should talk about, because again, I don't think I've ever like shared this like to you at least. Um, like I for about a year and a half prior about a year and a half, like I think starting in the summer of 2015 to like the end ish of 2016, I lived in LA, and it's a really interesting story about how like that's a that's a time in my life that is almost, I think back on it, and it's almost like a different person lived that life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cause my days, like the way I would live every day, is just so different from now, and a lot of things like changed about me in LA that have stuck with me in really bizarre ways. For example, before I moved to LA, I didn't really think about the fact that I probably have some kind of like social anxiety.
Hmm.
Um, this is a thing that like was really a big deal for me in school, because I would always describe to people like in high school, I hate school, but I can never describe the way I hated school. It wasn't about the teachers or the classes or the bullshit friends or any of that crap.
Yeah.
It was just walking in the hallways of school. It was a very crowded school, like just a lot of people, and like that was what made me so like terrified to go to school in a way. And I just hated that so much, but I didn't like recognize that. This is right after I graduated. Um, I moved out to LA, and I went to this was in the summer of 2016, and this is right around the time where I decided I needed to move back home.
This is pretty recent. It's not too long
Yeah.
ago.
It feels like it was a while
Can
ago.
you
'Cause-
put the popcorn back in the bag? I don't want any more.
yeah, I got you.
Okay. Thanks.
There we go. I went to Anime Expo in the summer of 2016, and it was one of the worst experiences of my life. But in a very weird way. Like, there were just too many people, and I didn't. It's this strange feeling where I went there by myself. I didn't like go with anyone. Just because I wanted to go. And I had like a few events I wanted to show up to, but like in between those events, I would just like walk around, and I would be very uncomfortable. Like I couldn't sit anywhere because I felt like everyone was like staring at me. I hated walking around like in circles of the whole building because I felt like I kept running into the same people. I didn't know what to do. I felt like I was like trapped. I don't know. It was horrifying. I had like a 3-day pass to Anime Expo,
Yeah.
but I only went 1 day because of this. I was like, I am not going back.
So
I
you
went-
went alone?
Yeah, I went alone.
Oh,
It might have
feels
been
bad,
better
man.
if I. Yeah, it might have been better if I went with someone else, but that is where I saw Your Name for the first time.
Yeah.
I saw the world premiere. I was at that. If you watch a lot of like the like if you watch like Digi's Your Name video, at the very end, he has like a clip of Makoto Shinkai at Anime Expo, and I was there. I'm like in that crowd.
Wait, world
Somewhere.
premiere, or you mean like American premiere?
No, world premiere.
Holy
Um,
shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, he premiered Your Name like 2 months early in America at Anime Expo.
Insane.
And then I wasn't able to see it again until like a year and a half later,
Yeah.
because it took so fucking long for Funimation to release the show here and in the States again. But so that was a positive experience of Anime Expo. But yeah, like that's that's something that like after going to that event, I was like, oh god, I can't do that again. That was awful.
Interesting. I never. I mean, we have a little convention here. It's called Macon, but you know that it's it's like private. You know, people doing their best to um, find this niche community of anime fans in Slovenia, and you know, make something out of it. And you know, if you go
Mm.
with people, you know, your friends. Um, I go just because I you know, get to meet up with friends who I haven't seen in a while, and it's fun. But you know, nothing worthy of a premiere or anything. It's super small. You know,
Yeah, that was
I wish
pretty crazy.
I wish I could go to one of the big ones.
Well, I don't know. Anime Expo really is terrible. I don't
Well,
recommend it.
I think you're a lot of Americans are kind of like
Spoiled.
yeah, spoiled pretty much. Because I'm not looking for like a crazy. I mean, whether it's good or bad, it's a unique experience.
So
For someone who doesn't get to go to the conventions, especially big ones like that.
sure, that's fair. I think Anime Expo is too big. It's too crazy. There's too much happening. There's too many people. There's one on the East Coast. I don't remember what it's called. Um, but that one I think is like a little more toned down, but it's still pretty big. Um, and you still get a lot of gets and stuff. But my favorite convention experience was earlier this year. Um, I went to there's this really small like not like pathetically small, but like comparatively, you know, to Anime Expo, really tiny like event called Colossal Con. Um, takes place in Sandusky, Ohio, which I actually used to live in. My whole family used to live in that city before moving down
Fuck.
to where I live now.
Fucking mosquitoes everywhere.
Oh yeah, I've been getting bitten up. I don't
Look
know.
at this. God damn. Caught me.
Jesus, dude. That's a big one. Holy shit. But I loved going to Colossal Con because, another rock band story. They had like a big game room where a lot of people were hanging out playing like fighting games, but in the corner, this guy had set up a rock band like group,
Hmm.
and they had a drum set, two guitars, like the whole thing, the microphone. And I went over there and I just like sat in the back and I saw the guy playing drums and I was like, dude, this guy's trash.
Yeah.
I could fucking cream this guy. So I'm like, hey, mind if I have the next turn? And I get like 99% on like one of the hardest songs. I think it was Rock Band. Yeah, it was Rock Band 3. And everyone's just like, oh, holy shit. And I was on drums for like 3 hours.
Damn.
Like
That sounds
no one
awesome.
no one wanted to challenge me. But yeah, you know, not a lot of people play drums on Rock Band anyways, so it was nice having someone to always be, because that's like that and singing are the two instruments that no one wants to play on Rock Band or Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome. Like like we had like a crowd. We had like a crowd around us, and I was living it, dude. I was actually in a way like playing drums for a live audience.
Awesome.
It was fucking great.
Sounds really good.
Had nothing to do with anime. It was an
that's
anime
fine.
convention, but you know.
You know, I played OSA at the local anime convention. They had like
that's
a
awesome.
OSA place, and I thought, you know, I'm pretty good at OSA Mania, so I thought, you know, I'll get on that and own this.
Oh man, this fire, it's so warm. I'm like like passing out.
Yeah, it's, you know. But I went on. I started like messing around with the settings, and I realized just how important it is to have your own keyboard, have your own screen at the eye level that I have it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the chair was so high, I was looking down at the screen. It was very weird. Um, and also, I didn't have my fucking theme, which completely changes how you
Oh,
play.
yeah.
And I sucked. I sucked at that game. And I turned back after 2 songs, and I still see like a crowd of like 7 people behind me.
Yeah.
I was like, you came here to watch me suck at this game, but they were impressed.
Oh, yeah. Um, yeah, that's the thing about rhythm games, dude. Like, you get so comfortable. Like, when you get really good at a rhythm game, you get so comfortable in your own space. Um, and like, for me, the way you described it, I when I play like, when I used to play Hatsune Miku Project Diva a lot,
Oh yeah.
and even when I play OS, I like to sit real high up on the chair, like you're saying, and I like to angle the monitor so I'm looking down at it directly, kind of like an arcade cabinet.
Hmm.
That's like my preferred way to play.
Uh,
But
I put the chair really close to the table. I sit straight,
yeah,
and I pull up the monitor closer. That's how I play.
yeah. I think having the monitor closed is like really important.
Yeah, because it lets you concentrate on a smaller area, right? You're
Oh
not
yeah,
looking
definitely.
around. Yeah. Hey, thanks for sharing that, dude. I got a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, did I ever tell you how I used to play Naruto for like years, with friends? So, you know,
You used to wait. Play Naruto?
yeah. I mean,
Explain.
yeah, I will explain, dude. So, like I said, after school, every day, I would turn on the TV and watch some anime, which I didn't even know what anime was back then. I thought, I was watching cartoons. But Naruto, for some reason, even though I didn't understand everything, but when you're younger, you just watch something and you get it. You don't need, you don't even pay much attention to it. You just see
Yeah.
cool things and somehow you get it. Me and my friends used to all watch Naruto, and it was our favorite, next to One Piece. Um, so all of a sudden, we started like we always had a game going on when we went outside to play. Um, Before Naruto, we used to play Star Wars for years. I'm talking like years, dude. We had ranks,
Oh my gosh.
Jedi Master. Uh, we made lightsabers out of aluminum or wood or something. I don't know. But we were legit fighting with sticks. Uh, and one of the friends was
That's
a
awesome.
little chubby, and he was our boss because he couldn't do a lot of the acrobatic shit. And
Sure.
I was athletic as fuck back then. I was super fast. Uh, I was good at everything, pretty much. I was the
Yeah.
guy who owned every sport, in sports class or whatever it's called. What?
Jim.
Gym. The school. In the school. What's the?
Yeah, it's called gym class.
Okay, gym class. That, yeah.
Yeah.
I was, the guy who gets picked first at everything because I'm just that good.
Yeah. Good.
So, he used to give me crazy missions, and make up stupid shit. He was a lot more nerdy than me, so he would say, like, you gotta jump over this thing and deactivate the laser so you can go up to this thing and shoot the bad guys, stuff like that. We used to constantly play this. And after we stopped playing Star Wars, we went to Naruto.
I just remembered a really really good story that you reminded me of. Go finish yours though.
We made like throwing knives out of wood. We carved them out,
Holy shit!
and there were like 5 trees outside that were like in circle. So you went in the middle. You would close your eyes. We numbered the trees from 1 to 5, and someone called a number, and you would have to open your eyes quickly, turn around, and throw the throwing knives at the tree. So that's how we used to play Naruto a lot of the time. A lot of the time, it was like made up missions. Hokage gave us a mission to go into the forest and collect this, kill the bad guy. And we had all the Naruto kit you needed. The scrolls, we made the scrolls.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. We had the paper shurikens. We knew all the hand gestures and jutsus, stuff like that. Did you ever watch Naruto? You know who
No, not
Sasuke
really.
is?
Yeah, I know he is.
Yeah, he was the coolest. I
never
always
watched
wanted to
Naruto,
be
but
Sasuke. I was the educated.
I never watched Naruto, but recently, like a couple months ago, I just jumped into the final like 10 episodes where Naruto and Sasuke have their epic finale.
Oh,
I felt very
never-
emotional from it, and I had like never seen it. I was like, this is awesome.
You watched the Naruto Shippuden, right? You didn't watch
Yeah.
the original. Okay.
Yeah, like the final like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
fight between Sasuke and Naruto. in that
Because they have a
Shippuden.
fight in the original Naruto that starts this whole story that goes
Yeah.
on in Shippuden. Because Sasuke wants to find his brother and kill him.
He wants to be an edgelord, maximum
Uh,
edgelord.
And he betrays his friends and joins the bad guys because the bad guys give him power that he can kill his brother. And I used to think that was super cool. I wanted
It is
to
kind
be
of cool.
Sasuke. I wanted to be that guy. And one time, the only time I really physically hurt myself, I never broke any of my bones, anything. The only time I was at my friend's house and I was chasing his sister. We were like kind of screwing around, and they have a glass door, right? So I'm chasing her through his apartment, and she closes the glass door behind her, and I just go straight with my, with my palm. I try to stop it, but it breaks, and I cut
Oh,
my
shit.
wrist, and I cut my chest, and I still have the scars. It looks pretty badass.
That's fucking manly as shit
Yeah,
for a Naruto story.
and I had my whole hand like wrapped up in the what's it called? The
Like I know what you mean the like medical wrap.
yeah, and Sasuke also had that. It looks like that, even though it has
Oh,
a different
you're
use
right.
in anime. It's not like medical,
That's awesome.
And I used to think I'm Sasuke, and I can do the what's it called? Chidori jutsu with that hand. He has this jutsu where he forms an electric ball in his hand. Anyway, that's my pretty much from like 11 to 14. That's what I played with friends.
That's fucking awesome.
And every day we would go outside and play this game, make
Holy
different shit
shit.
up.
I so that whole thing reminded me of this friend I had. He was like a neighbor. He lives like or lived like very very close to me, like down the street, and we never really like talked to each other. His name was Daniel. He was actually the reason that I go by Danny, because he was I've known this kid since like elementary school, but we never were like friends. But yeah, we were in the same class, and he was like, "No, I'm Daniel," and I was like, "Well, I guess I'm Danny then."
Well, you should have
But-
just killed him and stole his name.
Yeah, I was also what, like, I don't know, 10.
You'd have to
Years old.
call me so I'd kill him with my wooden
Yeah.
throwing knives.
Yeah, there you go. But I kind of got close to this guy in like high school because we both were in marching band, and we needed a way. This is like freshman year. We needed a way to get to school, so his mother would pick me up, and because my parents were both like working and busy.
Stop. Did you see that? Did you see the
Oh,
rabbit?
shit. Dude,
There's a
Holy
rabbit.
shit. Look at it.
Hey,
fucking scratching.
fuck out of here.
Oh. Oh shit, dude.
Stupid rabbit.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Wanted to scare him away.
What if it jumped into the fire? We'd have some nice cooked rabbit.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue
Anyway,
the story.
it's
The
fine, it's
rabbit
fine.
interrupted us. It's not my fault, dude.
It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. But yeah, we would just hang out a lot because I needed his mother to give me a ride.
Oh, I needed his mother too.
Yeah. She would buy us Wendy's like every day. It was fucking great. But we get back to his house and we just like chill out and just hang out or whatever. We used to play a lot of Battlefront 2. It was great. But he had these lightsabers. These like toy lightsabers in his basement. And we were just rummaging around through his like old toys, and I was like, we were just like reminiscing over this shit because we had a lot of the same things. But we both pulled out these lightsabers, and we looked at each other, and we knew what we needed to do. So we go outside into the public, like the open outside his house area,
Yeah.
and we look at each other. We're like, we're serious about this, right? We're gonna do this shit.
You just reminded me of two great stories.
Great,
Okay,
great,
continue.
awesome. So we both like whip out the lightsaber because it's one of it's one of those ones where you like press the button down and then you like whip it out.
Yeah.
You have to know what I mean.
I
everyone's seen
know.
it.
I had this.
Yeah. So we both
Come on,
like,
we played Star
drew
Wars
our
for
lightsa-
years.
Yeah, dude. But we were like 15. This is
Oh shit.
this
This
is
is
not,
getting sad.
This is not like a normal thing for 15-year-olds. And we fucking go at it. Like we're fucking like really shit. Like we damaged these lightsabers. We were like going crazy with it. And we were like trying out different he had like this body armor shit, so we like put that on so we could really go crazy. It got insane. We were doing this. We got really addicted to this for like a week. And like we had to stop because his little brother wanted to join in. And so he did, and of course I sock him in the face and give him a nice
Nice
a nice
whack.
like bruise. And his mother was like, "Nope. No more of this."
Oh, you just reminded me of another story.
Pure cringe. Oh
Which I
no.
will tell right now. So, while we were playing Star Wars, we were also playing with the water guns. Water guns were real Star Wars weapons.
Yeah.
So,
Water is kind of like lasers.
I was Han Solo. I had a water pistol, and you had
I'm
to
Han
manually squirt.
Solo. I'm Han Solo.
But the fat friend I mentioned before, he was the only child, and he was
Yeah.
super spoiled, and his mother bought him a huge like automatic water gun that fucking squirts
shit.
huge
Wads.
what?
Huge wads.
I don't know what that is, but it squirts a
You don't
fucking
need to know.
fat water. It's a water cannon, basically, is what I'm saying. Okay? You press the button, it empties a 2-liter fucking container, and if you're inside of that gun, you are fucking drenched. And I was the athletic one. I was the smart kid, okay?
Yeah.
So we were shooting with the guns. I was wet as fuck, but I got him a few times, and then his grandma comes, well, while we were playing, and is pissed off at me, and says, "You're never going to play with my what is the, god damn it, what is the relation? What's it called in English?
Your son?
No, because it's a grandma.
Oh. My grandchild?
Yeah, that. Ever again. Because
Grandson?
you were the only one squirting him with the fucking water gun. And I was like,
shit.
no, that's not possible. I have this small rinky-dink gun. I can't do shit. I am the wet one. And turns out, his stupid giant fucking water blaster was leaking.
Oh shit.
Anyway, you reminded me of another story
Yeah, keep
before,
going.
with lightsabers. So there's this magazine, right? Kids magazine. You can do crosswords and a bunch of other shit. It's
The
Disney
real
themed.
manly shit.
And a lot of kids used to buy that, but one time, I think when Star Wars Episode 3 came out, so it was really popular, they included like a toy that you can blow up, and it's a lightsaber. It's an air lightsaber. You know what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's made of fucking rubber. You blow it up, and it's a lightsaber.
Sure,
So,
sure.
I don't know what you call that in America, but when pretty much your whole class goes to a place and you
Field
stay
trip?
there. Yeah, that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And we all bought these fucking lightsabers. And when they shut the lights off and we were supposed to sleep, we whipped those out, dude. We were fighting like madmen.
Oh, yeah.
And no one could get hurt, it was fun. It was like pillow fight, but with lightsaber.
Oh, holy shit.
Anyway, this magazine was actually like 3-4 euros, 5 euros, I think, which is pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But you get
Yeah, it
a lot
is.
of shit in it. So one time, they opened this new store, convenience store, and one of my friend's mother took us in and said, buy something for yourself. Everyone can buy something. There were like 3 other friends, so everyone buys some stupid candy, and I was the oldest one, so I thought I would be the responsible one, right? No, I'm not going to buy anything, but she insists, buy something, dude. I want to buy you something. And I didn't know how much this magazine cost. So I thought, okay, I'm the oldest one. I am smart. I'm not going to buy stupid candy. I'm going to buy something good. And I gave her this magazine. I said, I want this. And she bought it. She didn't say shit. But only years later did I realize that I pretty much bought like the most
Porn?
expensive thing.
Oh,
It was like 5 times as expensive as all the candy other kids
holy
bought.
shit.
It-
You fucking dick.
well, it's her own fault. She insisted I have to buy something. So if
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy something, I'm gonna buy the good shit, okay? I don't
Sure.
want none of this stupid candy. I want the cool magazine with the toy in it.
Holy shit.
Anyway.
There's a toy in it. That's awesome.
Yeah, you get it's like wrapped and you get a toy in it. Anyway, that's my story.
I that reminded me. I'm glad we got this back and forth going. That reminded me of these 2 summers in which I went to this like summer camp kind of thing. I'm trying to remember how old I was. I want to say I was in like early middle school, but I could be wrong. Um, it was just like this like 2 week camp thing, where you'd like stay in a cabin. Might have only been 1 week. I don't know.
Hey,
And we,
dude,
like,
just a second. I mean, this fire is running out, and we have to go to sleep soon. So just
oh
letting
yeah,
you know that we have to finish our drinks and food soon, so we can go to sleep. Okay,
oh yeah,
continue.
right. So last story. Okay. um, so we I think it was the first year I did it. Yeah. Um, it was like the fourth or fifth night, and the way the cabins were set up is like there would be like four bunk beds, so like so 8 kids in a cabin,
Hmm.
and there'd be like a bed in like the middle kind of where the cabin director would sit, like I don't know what he was called, like the administrator kind of guy. He would watch us, our cabin specifically. We followed him everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was like our mentor kind of guy.
Yeah, I understand.
And one of the nights, um, he decided, this is his choice. He decided that it would be a really good idea to break into the lunch area and steal a bunch of food.
Hmm.
Completely ridiculous thinking about it in retrospect.
Yeah.
No one did this. No one had ever done this, but we had this whole plan in motion. He somehow, I don't know what or how he did this, but he somehow managed to get his own key to the like lunch hall, um, the director guy. So we like head over there. This is probably like 10, 11 at night. Everyone else is asleep. We're like sneaking out in our pajamas. It's fucking cold. We're like running across like through the woods. Um, it was insane. And we get to this fucking lunchroom and we just chow down, dude. We just devour all of like the chocolate and the fucking like candy and
Whoa.
all the awesome the snacks and stuff
That's
they
hardcore,
have.
dude.
Yeah, we stole like everything and took it back to our cabins. I think that guy got fired. Think about
Serves
it,
him right.
because I think the next year I came back, he wasn't working there anymore, so I just kind of put two and two together.
Yeah. I got a quick 2 stories before this fire
Okay,
dies.
before the fire goes out.
Yeah. Uh, I, when I was a kid, I used to collect Teletubby stickers, and there was an
Wow.
album you can buy, and you can fill it. And I traded my deck of Pokemon cards for an equal amount of Teletubby stickers. Can you believe this?
Holy
To
shit!
this day, I regret this. But I wanted the Teletubby stickers so bad because I wanted to fill that album.
Do you still have the stickers?
I don't know. I think. I mean,
You should find
the
that.
stickers. The stickers are in the album, but I don't think I have the album anymore.
Oh,
I
okay.
have the Pokemon album of the third gen. I think second, third gen.
Alright.
It's filled, and there's another story with that where we were all competing, and I traded the last sticker my friend needed to the last sticker I needed. We traded our last stickers, but it was the fat guy I told you about. So I ran
yeah.
home, and I knew that he can't run as fast as I can. I was fast, dude.
Oh,
So I
no.
ran home just so I can put my last sticker in my album and win. And he
course.
was pretty upset about that. Okay.
What a dick!
Yeah. That's what
But-
man mode does, dude.
Yeah,
You can't blame me. That's how I
you've never
became.
changed.
I don't know.
You've always been this way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man.
I used to have anger management back in the day.
Oh really?
Now, I get angry all the time, but I enjoy it. It's I take pleasure from being angry.
Yeah. I feel that.
So the only time I get upset at anything with my friends or any, people around me is just because I want to entertain them, and they all know I'm fake angry.
Yeah.
Anyway, you wanna finish this drink?
Yeah, sure, bro.
Okay. Um, hey, also, I wonder if anyone will join our Discord we got in the description of the podcast episodes.
Yeah,
think-
dude, it's been very empty. Like, we've got like a few new people, but it's no one's really joining, and like, we're not getting any new like voicemails or anything. So yeah, I hope people would start doing that.
I mean,
more.
we couldn't play them anyway because we're in the middle of nowhere, but
Yeah, I could probably find a way, but it's not worth it.
yeah.
Yeah.
When I get back to my PC, we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm having fun camping here in the middle of nowhere with you, sharing
Yeah.
stories.
It's a good time, dude.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's put this fucking fire out.
Yeah.